Revenant. We did see Revenant several times yesterday, including was BMG or what? It was BMG, I believe.
BMG, no,
Super
Zinc.
KGE, yeah.
BMG as well as Zinc. Actually.
That's true. Yeah, both definitely played, but Super KGE's performance was just dominating on the hero, really. So, it's kind of funny again seeing that ban, but it makes sense maybe as of yesterday. Now, this draft is kind of because Parasite first pick, sure. Glacius response, though, from Rexars, and that's where it's a little bit of a... I mean, he is good hero against Parasite, of course, but worth a first pick? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it does potentially show what they might have in mind, actually. We might even see an aggressive tri-lane, perhaps even an aggressive dual lane, perhaps, with the Glacius pickup, because obviously Glacius are a great counter against Parasite, because obviously the Ice Imprisonment lasts in 10 seconds against neutral creeps. And as a result, I mean, can nullify Parasite's ganking potential completely. I mean, and even if not, aggressive dual lane, even in like the dual mid, perhaps, it just gives Rexars that sort of security and safety, knowing that Parasite's not really being able to challenge in terms of a ganking in the middle lane with that Glacius in that lane.
Yeah. All right. Well, they get it. The Magnus follow up, obviously. You just see Empath and then into Tundra. So we get that Parasite-Tundra combination. And that's where, if you're the Hellborn side, you're going to have to think about, well, we're going to need some good vision across the map here. Yeah, we actually we did see in that Sync Reason matchup, Reason had this pair of heroes, actually. And, of course, that was a really good game. That went like 65 minutes or something like that. And eventually was a win for Sync, but we even saw the double couriers that was bought by Insania for Sync to kind of scout out the Tundra and make sure that wasn't going to be effective. So I kind of wonder if other teams may pick up on that, seeing as that was actually pretty effective and going up against this combination. But Rhapsody the final pick, so they do get their dual support here right off the bat as well. So we'll see what kind of carry they transition into, but.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if running dual support is the strongest against Parasite. I can't remember the exact statistics, but obviously Parasite going the Codex, and it just gives him obviously another target to go for. Particularly, obviously, if you're ganking with Tundra in the Tundra Bird, and then picking up these dual supports is going to be his main target, and it just almost gives more food for Parasite in this game. But we'll have to see. Maybe they're expecting, or maybe they're going to try and go for like an aggressive tri-lane here and try and shut down the Parasite, block his camps and see what goes from there. But I'm not 100% sure whether running dual support, at least this early, is the way to go. And a Scout, I mean, another aggressive hero. I mean, Parasite, Scout, and Tundra, so much gank potential here on Reason, and clearly they want to make a statement about how many kills they can get in this game.
Yeah. I see the stat line for Scout right there. Actually, overall pretty good. Only 8 games total, but 75% win percentage, so 6 out of those 8 games. Not too shabby. But yeah, Scout definitely picked up here. Again, continuing kind of an aggressive nature of a gotcha potential kind of coming out of nowhere. So really, Rexars, it's going to be fun to see where they go with that said. I was going to bring up, history here. The way back in the past, Keeper of the Forest, when he did have those eyes that he could kind of throw around. I personally love that, man. I really did. But anyways, you don't have that skill anymore, unfortunately. So Rally is going to be the 4th pick coming out for Rexos right here. So kind of some getaway as well as some lead initiation here, but still kind of wonder what their carry is going to be now. Yeah,
I'm really sort of surprised. Like, I mean, it's fine picking up Rally, but picking up Rally, I mean, there's so much early game potential here for Reason. For Rexars, and I think even if they pick up a hard carry, are they still going to have enough to really warrant that kind of late game potential? Obviously, they've got quite good counters here from Reason. Obviously, Avalanche probably the best, as well as sort of Scout. A lot of anti-carry here, and sort of focusing all on this one carry, most likely for the next pickup for Rexars. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go, but we'll have to see if they can really get some good lanes going here with the Rhapsody and Glacius. Try and have a lot of early game aggression, maybe some good early rotations as well, helping out the lanes with the dual support. Maybe they can have that advantage before Parasite and sort of Scout and Tundra can sort of make a difference against their late game carry.
Yeah. So final pickup here for Reason Gaming. See what it ends up being. They got about 30 seconds now of extra time to decide. Only 3 seconds of extra time for Rexers over there. So unless they have that idea in mind of exactly what they're going to go with, they might need to be careful and pay attention to that. But Reason Gaming, on the other hand, boy, really using the best of his time, making sure they're comfortable, of course, with that final pick, whatever it may be. I was checking into the other series real quickly. It looks like I think they might even just be getting started with their first game here. So, Willowkeeper versus Dawn, of course. In fact, it might even be paused or something. But, anyways, I believe this first game, according to the brackets, at least no updates there. But, all right, there you go, though. Yes, they were pretty sure of what they wanted to finish off with there. It seems like Corrupted is up for a reason, but Bloodhunter, a pretty quick response for Rexars. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I can understand it because I mean, there's so much early game aggression here for Hellborn. I think they just don't want to, lose the game before 15 minutes with this kind of lineup. But at the same time, I mean, you're sort of putting all your late game potential in the Bloodhunter, and Bloodhunter isn't the strongest of late game carries. And we talked about before how Legion have got quite good anti-carry mechanisms. Obviously, the Scout Disarm, as well as the Avalanche coming out from Tundra, and even like the burst potential for Parasite, as well as actually the Corrupted Conduit as well. So, I mean, Bloodhunter is not going to have the easiest of games here in terms of carrying, but if they can get an early lead in terms of the lanes, even some ganking potential as well, then Rex definitely have the chance to take this game. It's just dependent on maybe perhaps the first 10 to 15 minutes and how that goes.
Yeah. All right, so into the laning phase, going to have a vote to pause here to start things off for Rexars before we get too far here, but again, this is one of the two matches going on right now. Willowkeeper versus Dawn, the other one. It looks like, okay, yeah, that is underway and officially in that first game right there. So, but we'll keep an eye on that one once again to see how that plays out, because ultimately the winners of this and that series will play each other next weekend. BMG and Sync obviously waiting in the winter bracket finals. Again, they will be playing next weekend as well on the Saturday of the earlier match. So, pulling up the brackets for you guys one more time to give an idea of what we're looking at while we are sitting in this pause here. So, man, I must say though, I'm very interested. I don't know if Quincy would have this right here just yet, but how many heroes have we've seen like throughout this weekend alone, just in the beginning of Cycle 1? Like,
there's been a lot of heroes like Amon Ra to like Revenant to whatever, anything, man. There's been so many heroes, and it's obviously good to see. Riptide, oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, to kind of clear a point on that, it's I even saw a comment about it. It's like, I know you guys were making a point of like how we do see a lot of heroes, because we do, but at the same time we still see Swiftblade all the time. It's like, yeah, you're going to have core heroes. I mean, that's just how it works. You're going to have core heroes that we will see quite a bit. The supports, we're going to see a lot of Rhapsody, a lot of Torture. We're going to see, Parasite quite a bit. We're going to see Swiftblade quite a bit. But that doesn't mean it's not diverse in the sense of at least one or two other heroes that are also picked up on top of those. And, I mean, you're never going to have a case where 5 heroes are going to be completely different from game to game. I don't care what game you have. That's not a thing. So let's not act like that should be the thing here. So 54 heroes have been played so far. So, yeah, a very good chunk of heroes. And that's just through one cycle of how many games has that been, actually, in total? It's probably something like, I would think, like, yeah, only 8. Wow, I thought it was even going to be more than that. Only 18 games. 54 heroes have been played throughout 18 games. That's very good, especially for that small sample size there.
Now you've got to list every single hero that hasn't been picked, Quincy.
Let's do that again. Yeah, talk about filling up the chat here. May the best Glacius win. Alrighty then. Anyways. So, yeah, again, that first big Glacius, though, over here for the Hellborn team. We'll see how Yellow Rexar is able to perform in it. What kind of lens are we seeing, though? The aggressive rally tri-lane going to be coming out here from Rexar.
Reason as well. They've already planned this happening. They've already set the scout down here, and look at Pew already rotating into the enemy jungle, already picked up his boots, and not even showing it yet either. So I do like this sort of play coming out from Reason. And I have to admit, I mean, with this sort of roster change with Reason, they just seem a little bit more on point, know exactly what they need to do in terms of the strategy, and have some clear leadership. It's something I know I sort of recognised before, but now, I mean, it sort of shows that, I mean, Reason are here to play, and they want to win.
They also want to pause, apparently. There's even another pause coming out right here. But yeah, no, clearly, again, kind of seeing what the lanes were going to be, and they immediately make the adjustment, as you're pointing out, so... very well played on their part. The boots on Parasite. We'll see. No 30-second spawn just yet, so not sure exactly what's going to be spawning here, of course, as far as the jungle is concerned. But Pew playing that Parasite, depending on what the creep is, may look to set up a very quick gank here onto Bloodhunter. So Glacius Rhapsody as part of a trial lane combo has been seen twice before, going 1-1. So again, a very small sample size, but an idea there of what to maybe expect. But, yeah, no, throughout this weekend, though, again, we've just had a lot of really good matches. Definitely a lot of longer ones, too. I mean, the sync reason game, and again, one that stands out. There was the Last of Us versus, what was it? It was the Last of Us versus the first round matchup. Who did they play? Let me check the brackets really quickly. Last of Us versus Willowkeeper, that's right. The series, yeah, I think that was a game one we like jumped into, and that ended up going quite the distance as well. Ultimately, that series actually went 3 games, so definitely had a very good series overall, and just a lot of good games that kind of stand out here. So looking forward to that continuing, of course. Something else I wanted to bring up too, actually, is the idea of Honcast podcast. We haven't done it in a while, I know. But now with Han Tour kind of back in the full swing and more going on once again, you know, we got things like the power rankings coming back. Thanks to Quincy. It's, again, the article, HonTour.com. Please check out the articles, guys. If you have any interest in the competitive Han scene, there's a lot of really good information right there. But yeah, the Honcast podcast, expect that to be coming back here in the near future. We'll have more information on it, hopefully sooner than later. But, you know, possibly, you know, something like in between the cycles, going to be doing a podcast, kind of going over things, and looking forward to bringing that back once again. So, just want to let you guys know that should be a thing that's coming back. So, Parasite against non-jungle lineups. Oh, okay, yeah. Really, 70%.
Yeah, when I was wondering whether, you know, Rhapsody and Glaciers is going to work well against this Parasite, because I mean, I think actually the last time we saw Pew Parasite, actually, I think we saw him yesterday when he was playing against Zinc, I think, and he picked up the Codex. I think he like maxed it as well. So going against obviously these squishy supports, I mean, he's just been absolute food for him. Combine that obviously with the Tundra Shiver, it's going to be even a higher win percentage as well if Quincy sort of put that in as well. So I think it just goes back down to the laning phase and whether Hellborn can really sort of get an early advantage in terms of sort of the laning phase and even early kills.
Yeah. So, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it looks like Probusk, unfortunately, just a quick restroom break. But we'll be good. What is he talking about? Overland Honcast, is it up? Is he? Oh, God. Okay, I don't think people understand how delay works some of the times. Even if I was to put anything up at this point, there's literally been this screen for about 3 or 4 minutes now in between. So unless I'm putting up a screen to block it literally every single pause and having to do that, which would just be absolutely annoying and probably not for the better in the end, then that's just not logical. Anyways, no, there is a rule too, though. I mean, that's why the rule exists, by the way, at the beginning of a game. As you're going into the laning phase, you cannot pause more than 5 minutes because, yes, the stream delay, obviously, as always, as it's been, is 6 minutes for the sake of wards, and that specifically is so you can't really see the lane. So after 5 minutes, which it wasn't at that point anyways, but you do have to pause it. But anyways, yeah, speaking of the game itself, middle lane, you got Glacius Rhapsody. They were kind of going, but they fell back, actually, pretty quickly here. Well, they're still thinking about it, waiting to see if Tundra gets in a worse spot. And actually, no, Magnus was actually out of range. I don't think he's going to be able to get in range. Maybe just so close. There we go. The hero block comes out, and Probusk is in a lot of trouble right here. A couple more auto attacks can eat through trees. But no, Carlos Vela playing the Rhapsody will pick up that Bloodlust kill. So well played right there from the roaming supports coming out.
Well, this is exactly what Reason needs to. Rexless needs to do. Obviously, if you're fighting against a jungle lineup, you need to get involved early and make those rotation happen. So perfect rotation coming out from Rexos and gets a big kill onto Progress here on the Tundra.
Yeah. Obviously, TP is really quickly back to the middle lane. And I'm actually curious, what do you think about that? We see, you know, if an early Bloodlust kill happens, such as this case, spending that 135 gold to just buy a TP and then quickly port back. Is that worth it? Yeah, you think it's worth it here? Yeah,
because in the early levels, XP is a lot more important than gold, and it's only 130 gold, or 135 gold anyway. And if he doesn't buy that TP, then obviously he's going to miss a lot of XP, and at the same time, he would have missed that whole creep wave, and he got 3 creep kills there, which equates to like 1 TP anyway. So it's definitely worth it picking up the TP.
See right here, the collapse on a Bloodhunter at the top lane. Rhapsody is going to be coming in, though, to try to help save the day at least. Also Parasite on that Skeleton King, but not nearly enough follow-up damage. Empath, though, blocking up Glacius as Tundra comes in out of nowhere. Glacius is going to fall into Rhapsody. He might be in trouble, too. Piercing Stars used the hasted Tundra, doing plenty of work. The Conduit from Corrupted as well ends up picking up a double tap with it, and Bloodhunter can kind of stand there and not do much else, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, it was one thing as far as that fight was developing, but then when Tundra came in with the haster, and that pretty much secured it there for the Legion team. He gets his revenge. Safe to say right there. So.
And now they're actually ahead in terms of golden XP, and although the Swords did do a good job in terms of the bloodlust, I mean, so did the Parasite as well. So they have to do even more work than the Parasite right now. So expect some more ganks coming out from Rhapsody, actually middle lane.
Yeah, middle lane. You see Tundra a little more pressure, but without support nearby, Magnus can only do so much, of course. So it's simply just harassing right there and keeping him occupied, but. Bottom line, how is Scout doing right now? I mean, he's 14-0 against Rally, who's 15-3 right here. So Scout's actually managed quite a bit. Again, it really hasn't been a... It's been a 1v1, really. I mean, Rhapsody and Glacius have been spending more time roaming. Obviously, they got the Bloodless Kill mid, and now they're all the way at the top lane, so... I guess it's not too surprising there. But yeah, what about this decision here from Reason Gaming? I mean, why do you think they should be sending the Rally top kind of transitioning, or would they just get responded on anyway, so...
So, what do you mean, if Reddy went top?
Send Rally in top for Bloodhunter bottom.
If Reddy goes top, then the Parasite and even the Empath can rotate down here. And I think Reason just wanted to dodge the Trident, so I guess they could. But at the same time, it's just going to be very, very bad for the Bloodhunter here. For Rexos, they want to obviously get him as much farm as possible because he is their only sort of late game threat. And although rotating the Rally up here would probably be better in the sense of that, Reason can easily just rotate.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's kind of like... If you're going to rotate, you want to rotate it with a gank, because otherwise it's going to be a waste of time and money in terms of TP.
So we see bottom lane. You can bottom rune more. So Tundra actually going to pick that up. Happens to be a refreshment. Top rune was already picked up. Looks like. As Magnus does come up here, sure enough, and Bloodhunter just pushes the middle lane. But they're going to try to collapse, maybe a stun for Magnus. No, Empath ports out just before. However, the freeze out of Corrupted, and now his supporting cast is missing. But they cannot get close enough. That was a huge chance for Rexos right there to try to make something happen. But unfortunately, they just simply could not get there in time. And then the reaction, sure enough, does happen. So kind of what you're talking about right here as far as what to expect. So sure, it ends up going Magnus up there, but they're like, okay, so we're going to make a transition now. We'll just send our supports bottom, specifically Corrupted Disciple, and he'll farm down there. So.
And as Hellborn was the one who made the initial rotation and they didn't get a kill, it actually worked out better for Legion because obviously they spent a lot less time trying to set up the rotation in the end. So when you rotate and don't get a kill, it can be a lot more harm than good. At least now they can sort of secure their top lane, but at the same time, I mean, Scout's probably not even going to stay up there. He's going to try and gank mid, and so this whole rotation, it probably is again in favour of Reason.
Yeah. Tundra using that Shiver, going to get some information just in case, or actually send it over to Parasite right here. We'll see if Parasite looks to maybe make use of that in the near future. Again, that's that combo and the potential that it does have. Steam Boost just picked up by Rally. He's going to go ahead and stack the Ancients up right here. We'll see if he looks to do them or maybe just saves that for later. Probably just save it for later. Also going to get the 6-minute rune. It happens to be a refreshment, though. Top rune is Illusions. Not the biggest deal in the world, but Bloodhunter will actually go to just pick that up right there. So overall right now, GPM chart Corrupted Disciple is now tops. 340 gold per minute. Magnus doing his part once again. We've seen a lot of Magnus lately, especially of just trying their best to carry for the sake of the team, get that early portal key, do work. He's farming pretty well. Misses a catapult right there, unfortunately, but up here at the top lane, finishes his own Steam Boots. And they're going to push it in pretty aggressively, it looks like. He actually stunts the creep wave. Yeah, they're going to go an aggressive push up here to this
Scouts
tower.
mid, actually, so they should be able to get his tier 1 at top. Tundra is level 6 middle lane, though, so assume the gank to come out.
Well, they're going to try. I mean, Scout level 6, so yeah, no marksman shot to be had. But Tundra with that avalanche. And here comes Empath now, too. So, Bloodhunter, though, he knows something's just not right. Even the Skeleton King is here from Parasite. But he got some good information right there, perhaps just missing in action calls in general. And played it very, very safe and understandably so. So well played right there as far as staying alive. And they pushed the top tower with ease. So Scout spending a lot of time there in the middle. Unfortunately, to not do much and, well, now transition elsewhere here. But Magnus going to keep pushing it up a little bit. He has another 500 gold saved up on his way to that portal key now. So, of course, looking pretty good there.
Yeah, so let's start talking about, I mean, Hellborn do need to start getting active. I know it's only 7.5 minutes, but, I mean, the fact of the matter is that they don't have late game. And this Bloodhunter, yeah, he can carry, but when he's going against sort of Scout, Corrupted, and Tundra, all great at locking down anti-carries, he's going to have a trouble in actually carrying this game into the late game. So they need to have an advantage in the early to mid game if they want to sort of secure this game. So, I mean, Blood Titan's level 6, Rally's level 6,
Yeah.
Magnus is level 6. They need to start using these ultimates and to get kills. I mean, because they're the ones who need to be higher in terms of the golden XP, because they don't have the superior late game. I mean, they can contest in the late game, but only if they have an advantage when they go into it. For example, say like 5 to sort of 10 gold, 1,000 gold lead. And at the moment, they are winning, but not enough in my opinion. So I'd like to see some more rotations out, most likely from the cores, because the supports can only do so much. Bottom lane, though, Rhapsody and Rally are here.
Yeah.
But Empath's actually hiding onto the side. They can't actually catch him. But actually, here comes Parasite, though.
Yep, and actually now Rhapsody needs to be careful. Parasite didn't even see her initially. Now he changes his mind, goes for Rhapsody, but the supporting cast is not going to be close enough. He puts in a lot of auto attacks. If he was level 6, he probably would have gone for it. But yeah, Glacius going to be able to cut him off. Has that freeze. There's the freeze on the Minotaur. And Parasite going to be forced to make a tough decision right here. He'll probably go at the last second. There we go. He throws a little leech. Nice compel, though, from Rally. Waited to come out, of course, and gets the kill. The Empath while the last second. That's actually very well placed. But Adro just could not get there in time. So Pew gets picked off, and 9 minutes in, there's a bit of that roam that you're talking about, setting up some more kills.
And this is probably why they picked up the Glacius as the first pick. They really wanted to shut down Pew. Actually, bottom lane, here comes Scout.
Yeah, Scout's going to come in for the flank. He is level 6 now, but Rally goes in first. That's Seismic Sand, Crypt Disciple. He's taking a lot of damage. Freeze comes out. He is going to end up falling, but at what cost? Glacius goes down, and now Rally's going to be chased down as well, but he should be fine. He has Compel coming up in 3 seconds. Again, Scout has his ultimate, but he knows. Might not be enough for the kill. In fact, he goes on him once again. Does Rally. Look at that damage coming out. Oh, that was because of the hemorrhage. Never mind. Silence on top.
Oh,
and, well, guess what? Blood Sense is strong against Scout.
Yeah, Adro just missed the deny there, just 0.1 second off. Okay. But yeah, but just good rotation, and this is exactly what Rexars need to do. They have the superior gang potential with the Blood Hunter, with the Rally, and of course the dual supports. And the way they're doing this, actually, they're shutting down Parasite very, very well. He's only 150 GPM, and we talked about how good Parasite can be against dual supports, but I mean, he's nowhere near close his Codex, and at the moment, I mean, the secondary supports or the laning supports here are doing a lot better in terms of or in comparison to Parasite. So good play out from Rexars, but still they should not rest on their laurels. They still need to gank a little bit more and a little bit more often. Yeah.
Middle lane Tundra, Avalanche, yeah, I was going to say, Blood Hunter needs to be careful. This is exactly why. He's in a lot of trouble. One more follow-up. There's the wall. He actually silenced himself. No, that was a face hug. I thought for a second he almost silenced himself right there, but the face hug silence came out, and the burst damage eventually enough to take him out. So, I mean, he was tanky a little bit right there. Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments enough, but, well, not enough in the end, of course, as eventually gets picked off. So, good roam once again, obviously that time around from Reason Gaming, on the other hand. And using that Tundra ultimate to lead the way even. So, well played there. Parasite only 177 gold per minute, so, again, was active right there. He does have 2 assists. He's going to pick up another Minotaur, but is just going to continue to farm with that for the time being. We did see yesterday Pew, I believe, that that was the Reason versus Sync series. He actually did get that Codex and whatnot. You think Codex this time around, I mean, dual support he's going up against probably makes sense still?
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I mean, he's so far behind where he needs to be to get that Codex and have that snowballing effect. I don't know if we're going to see either. I mean, I can understand if he goes through, but at the same time, I think Parasite going in the puzzle boxes might be the smarter choice to go. But I don't know. It's hard to say, because I would definitely say pick up the Codex, but as it's only 180 GPM, maybe the puzzle box would make more sense, because it'd be a little bit more useful in terms of team fights. But we'll have to see what route that Pew goes. I mean, if he changes his GPM in the next say couple of minutes, then he might go for the Codex. But if he sort of stagnates at around 200 GPM. Perhaps expect the Legion have
destroyed a Hellboy bottom tower. Imba Boy just freely pushes it in. Not much of a defense put up there. Now the Shiver scouts these guys coming, and Recent Gaming going to simply fall back because of that. They do have triple stack Ancients, though, and the Hellboy team does not want to give these up. This is an interesting position, though. Corrupted side with the conduit, but Magnus does it on 3, but there's no follow-up. That was a very ballsy decision. He does have the Steam Bat, though, and he's going to be fine for now. So these Ancients drawing a lot of attention right here. But in the end, Rexars are going to clean it up. and make use of the farm. So, I mean, actually, though, here comes Tundra. Yep, he wants to chase. He gets the kill in a rally. He knew that they would be low, and he gets the one. Magnus the Sun once again. Is there going to be the follow-up? No, there's not. They don't have nearly enough. In fact, Bloodhunter's all the way back in the middle lane currently. And now the dive happening from the Legion team. Parasite is thinking about going. He kind of stutter steps a little bit right there. He takes a Magnus down. Rhapsody with staccatos. In comes Bloodhunter with a silence. And Pew will fall. So, yeah, he stutter stepped a bit right there. I don't know if that was communication or what, but he wanted to go in, maybe not really, and ended up backfiring. So, well played there by the Hellborn team.
Yeah, and I mean, Parasite is still about 170 GPM, so maybe the puzzle box is going to come out, but I'm still going to be sure for that. Going back to Scout, though, he's getting his farm slowly but surely, which is obviously a good thing, because even though Corrupted Disciple, he's got good farm, I mean, he isn't the strongest of hard game, sort of late game carries. He's more of like a sort of a semi-carry in a sense, because obviously he doesn't have the greatest of passes, whereas Scout can definitely ensure that late game potential, and they might need that, though, because, I mean, Bloodhunter's had somewhat of a decent game, about 300 GPM, and he's improving his farm second by second, of course. So expect Scout to have quite an influential part in this game here in terms of the carry sense as well.
Bloodhunter actually picks up a okay, no, he bought it and sold it. Okay, he bought a Warhammer initially, but actually now he buys a Quick Blade here in the end. So I guess simply going to be going for that Firebrand perhaps. He needs to be careful though. Once again, the middle lane, the Shiver kind of getting some good information. Scout is nearby, but there is support obviously nearby as well for the Hellborn team. So not too much of a scare there in the end. I'm sure Portal Key going to be in the works here for Tundra. 1,600 gold saved up, so just about there. Going to run into Glacius, actually, in the meantime. Glacius got the double damage here before, actually spots him, and now Tundra's in trouble. In comes the Eruption. Nothing he can do to stop there for the time being. It goes off right there. You saw Parasite try to maybe stop it, but he ends up falling as a result of that, and Magnus gets the stun. Down goes Tundra, so again, the timing just not the best right there, and cleanup for Rexars in Legion jungle.
Yep. And Rexars, I do love their aggression. They're always looking for kills, and that's exactly what their sort of team strategy needs and tends to be. Because if they just sort of feel happy to sort of sit back and relax, then Legion will take that. They have the late game potential here, and so it's Hellborn. It's their decision to sort of make the initiative and try and find these ganks. And they pick off two, and now it looks like they're going to try and take the tier 1 bottom. However, Corrupted Disciple is counter pushing mid. Actually, a TP is coming in though. So they should be able to sort of stop that in the end, but I mean, good. I mean, they're going to take the tier 1 bottom, and they defend their tier 1 mid, and I mean, they're up by around like 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 actually in terms of gold, as well as denying the middle tower. So yeah, I mean, Rexar's going from strength to strength.
Yep, that they are. 15.5 minutes in right now. Again, Rexars, this is that game 2 reason. A pretty decisive first game victory, but Rexars clearly kind of has rebounded here, and now you see a Firebrand on a Bloodhunter on top of it all. So again, buying more and more time for him to work that farm up there. 336 gold per minute now. Magnus, of course, has the Portal Key, so he's got the solid core item initially, but still farming about 350 GPM. Possibly see something like that Talbot next to line. It's the usual. Shrunken Head being worked on by Corrupted Disciple in the meantime, unless it's going to be that good old Ice Brand, which probably not. Shrunken Head, obviously, very strong item on him, and will more than likely be the case there. He's going to kind of push up the bottom lane. He needs to be a little careful. Now, granted, he does have a lane ward with some information, although it is about to despawn right here, so the Hellborn team can maybe take advantage of that and try to keep the ganks flowing here. That could be pretty big for them, but again, you see Probusky using the Shiver, getting plenty of information right here. However, I think Magnus, yeah, he's been invis this whole time, so he was not seen coming to the bottom lane, but you see what's down here, not a whole lot for the time being. As Scout is also kind of nearby, checking it out. Rev Ward's put down actually. Oh, they knew Scout was kind of in the area, but or maybe just simply trying to see, maybe counter warding a ward, but in the end, Parasite. You're in trouble. He thinks he's being stealthy. Now he is magic immune, so that's the saving grace right here. Oh, this could be deadly. No, he's fine.
He's got maxed out on Infest as well, so the Blood Hunter's not, or the Wild Hunter's not losing any HP at all. Okay. So it should be fun. One thing I would like to see though is actually the Parasite Shiver combination. I don't think we've seen it this game yet. And even if they can't even kill, or if Parasite doesn't, even if he can't kill anyone with the combination, it's just good to get some kind of information. And if he brings, say, Tundra along, that's a guaranteed kill. He doesn't need to sort of burst someone down by himself, but I would like to see the utilization of the Shiver and the Parasite combination.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. It does seem like maybe they like to wait for something like that. Codex exactly what Perhaps trying to take advantage of that for earlier than later could be pretty good, especially with the Rhapsody. Glacius, I mean, has kind of tanked up a little bit. He's got a power supply, or not missing systems, but even a bracer on top of that, but still could get a kill depending on the position. But for the time being, you see Rexars is playing the aggressors now a little bit, as they're going to poke in the middle tower right here. Rally's sitting really far back. He does have a portal key and ready to jump in if need be. Actually, never mind. He's going to the top lane, so they're going to try to set something on the Scout right here. He ports to the secondary tower top. Going to try to run in, but Scout actually ported back already. Yep.
And the electric guy, oh, that's really, really well played out from Zane there. Knows exactly what's going on, and actually they can't even take the 2 on mid either, so great play come out from Zane actually, scouting that out.
Oh, they're jumping. Avalanche on Glacius right here. Getting into the team support in time. Rhapsody does come in. Disco for to put down. The marksman shot not going to be enough in the end, as now Magnus stuns in on a Corrupted Disciple. He's about half-life. The Hemorrhage doing work, but he doesn't care. He wants to run with it because he knows he needs to get the hell on out of there. And obviously a very good decision on that part. So neither team picks up a kill. Yeah, the biggest thing, though, Rally porting top lane. That's him not being there initially. It definitely hurt them, but that was well played by Zane exactly with that the electric eye there. But this is going to be a tower kill now by Rexars. And you're looking at now 1,400 gold for Blood Hunter here. And again, we did see earlier, but to reiterate, the Blood set's very powerful against a hero like Scout.
Yep.
In the sense of as long as he's low enough, then we'll be able to see him as far as the invis. So key to keep in mind.
I don't know if they can really take this sort of pushing, taking this tier 2 actually, because Legion have quite a good sort of counter pushing capabilities with the piercing shards and the electric shard, and Hellborn don't even have any kind of pushing heroes, and so they are going to be able to be forced back, and it's really hard for them to really get that advantage that they desperately need before it gets into the mid or late game, because once it gets into the mid game or late game, when scouts pick up his Shrunken Head, once Corrupted Disciples picked up his Shrunken Head, it's going to be very hard for Hellborn to actually take these team fights and win them. And so in terms of that, they need to sort of even get further in terms of their ganks and their kills, because I mean, only being 2 kills ahead, it just isn't enough for the lineup they're going for. They need to have a lot more if they want to sort of contest into the late game.
Mm-hmm. Blood Hunter level 11 now, continuing to push up this bottom lane here, or top lane, excuse me, as there's no threat even nearby for the time being. Again, there isn't a initial tower up for the Legion side, so. Below 290 gold per minute, Parasite is 0-9. Wow, that's quite the stat line right there, definitely. So, yeah, Parasite clearly one of those high-impact heroes, especially for earlier on in the game. And when he's 0-3-2, only 210 gold per minute, not what you're really wanting. Now, he does buy a Neophyte's book here. Again, that still could mean one or the other. As far as, wait, did he buy another one? He is going Codex. Okay, yeah, Codex is being delivered here.
Well, it makes sense though, because Tundra can now pick up the puzzle box instead. So
okay.
Either way, I mean, Parasite can take effect of puzzle box. And look at the Shiver, instantly picks up the Codex and now tries to use it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. He has it. He's going to get that information right away though, and he's like, I'm not going to be jumping these guys. They're all sticking together as they should be. So he's going to continue to fly around, look for an opportunity, if anything, continue to give his team some sight, but. This is obviously a good strategy from Rexars. I mean, whenever, especially going against a Shiver, especially with a Parasite in a Shiver, you have to be very, very careful. Hell, Scout on top of it. There's a lot of reasons why you want to make sure not to be caught out alone. So a lot of sticking together, usually a good thing, and they're going to push the secondary tower. You do see what the Legion team's doing, though. Kind of push bottom, top, and middle. And actually the Courier's picked off by Zane right there, doing his best Keizu impression. In the process. Top lane, they are going to get a catch, though, however. On a Corrupted Disciple right here as Magnus stuns in with the Eruption. Empath jumps inside, but Magnus helping to finish him off most likely. He has a stun coming up. No, he doesn't have mana for it, actually, but actually Rally does have mana for his Compel. So down goes Corrupted. I'm all over the place. Empath's going to fall, and it ends up being 2 kills for the team. So great response coming out right there from Rexars in the end. They did get the bottom tower, though.
Yeah. That's true, but I mean at the same time, Corrupted Disciple does have his Shrunken Head now, so at least they can start, taking team fights if they wish to. And at the same time, I mean Codex is level 1 now, but and Parasite still has another 1,000 gold. And he's not even level 11 yet, so expect even more gains coming out from Parasite now as well.
Yeah, the Codex obviously again level 1 only, but do you expect him to level that up, or would that be a little too much.
No, yeah, I think you should level up, though, because,
Okay.
I mean, Puzzle Box is only being picked up by from Tundra anyway, and there's not much other he can go for. And with leveling up the Codex, I mean, yeah, it sounds very, very troll and very, very bad, but at the same time, they've picked this sort of Parasite Tundra combination for a reason, and sort of leveling up or increasing the power and the potential of the sort of strategy and the combination is only going to be a good thing. So I would like to see it, and now this sort of ensures like an instant kill on Rhapsody and Glacius. Might even have an instant kill on Magnus as well, actually, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. That we will. So we'll see, obviously, how that continues to progress here. As far as Kongor, though, clearly our Hellborn team is pretty interested in doing that. Oh, they catch Growth Disciple, actually. That wasn't Growth, that was Parasite. As the hemorrhage came out, and he could not do much else from there. So big catch, the bound eye, of course, helping. And now Kongor's really looking good for the time being. With that said, so yeah, that was just unfortunately, again, Parasite just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, really. And this is going to be a Kongor kill. Token of Life will very likely go to Blood Hunter here. And that's pretty big. I mean, it goes without saying, really, as far as how big that actually is here for the Hellborn team. So
Yeah, I mean, they are going to pick up the Kongor here, but at the same time, they're still not far enough ahead, I don't think, just yet, for them to really make a difference in this team fight. Because, I mean, once Scout picked up his Dragon Head, I mean, Corrupted always picked up his Dragon Head, but, I mean, Hellborn, they have so much magical damage, and they're not going to be able to sort of cut through these Dragon Heads that are being picked up by Scout and Corrupted unless they have more of a substantial lead, and at the moment, they just don't have it.
you see a Quick Blade picked up by Corrupted Disciple right here, so on his way to now getting more damage, at least upfront damage threat. Which the conduit does allow for him, but he needs to get the ideal situation for that to be ultimately very, very effective, which could be possible. But again, Token of Life on to Blood Hunter now. Another 14, nearly 1,500 gold saved up here even. We'll see what he does look to progress into here when it's all said and done. Scout does have, okay, I was going to say Mighty Blade. Could be a Brutalizer perhaps, but Shrunken Head would definitely be a safe option, and that's what he goes for. At least that's what he bought, I thought. Okay, maybe he still needs a Warhammer. I hate when that happens, man. They buy the pattern, it's like, okay, he has it.
Oh, he's got it.
Never mind, he needs 1,600 more gold because he still needs the weapon. Both Hellborn supports are farming well, and things are looking good for them. Yeah, supports in their GPM range have an 81% win percentage just about, so what do we have for them? 200 plus for both, 234 for Glacius even, so yeah, he's got that Astrolabe. You see a tablet in the works for Rhapsody, so of course that allows you to be extra useful. Scout? Okay, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I honestly think this goes back to Pew not really having the greatest of impact. I mean, I thought once he's picked up his Codex, he'd have a lot more ganking potential. He's only 0-4 and 2, and I mean, I can't discredit him too much because I mean, Hellborn have been sticking together quite a lot, so it's kind of hard for him to really find those pickups. I mean, one time he did try and do it, he ended up dying. So I can understand his reluctance to try and do it again, but at the same time, I mean, he's picked up the Codex, but you pick up the Codex to make sure you can get some early kills and to try and get the ganking going. At the moment, it just isn't there. But I mean, I think the biggest issue though is still Rexar's having that almost timer now of trying to make something happen before he gets into the late game. And they all looks like they're going to push the tier 3, which I think is probably the right decision because they've still got the token for 3 minutes. Right?
Yeah, they got the token for plenty of time, especially with that new Token of Life and how long it lasts for. You see in the background the Shiver is here, no Parasite inside, but the Shiver is still giving them the information necessary. They're going to start porting out though. Rhapsody, okay, I was going to say she is porting in a pretty vulnerable spot, but she does get away in the end. Glacius, unfortunately though, he is left behind, and guess what? The chase is on. Double damage rune to spawn right here. He may kind of pick this up. He needs to keep running though, and he's not going to be able to. They steals it, does Parasite. And now he's in trouble. Oh, he gets tabbed in actually the last second, but it wasn't enough. Magma's doing his best.
He's strong.
Keep him alive, yeah. Again, Face Suck though, so powerful for that as well. It steals the buffs on you, and actually Magma's now getting caught out. This is turning out to be pretty huge. I mean, the only reason Magnus gets picked off there is because Glacius lagged around.
Yep.
And he died and trying to save him.
Yeah, and now actually, Legion can take this tier 2. They might be able to put some damage onto the tier 3. They've got Puzzle Box on Tundra. Only level, I think it's level 1 at the moment, but still strong enough to sort of push quite quickly. I mean, I don't think Hellborn. Okay, Magnus did buy back, so at least they forced something after those, after those kills. So
yeah.
I mean, all this ganking I've been sort of saying for Hellborn they need to do, and at the moment it's like it's the Legion who look to sort of take the lead in terms of ganking, and it's looking bad for Hellborn already, I have to say.
I mean, again, if anything, it is a very even game for sure, but yeah, definitely a swing of momentum. If there was a stat for a swing of momentum, it'd be kind of cool, but I guess that's not really a number thing you can kind of gauge. But anyways, no, swing of momentum in favor of Reason coming out here for them. So you do see Bloodhunter, though, leading the way. Another minute just over on that Token Alliance. So sure, buyback on Magnus, didn't really result in a whole lot in the end, but he is now grouped up with the team. Again, he already has a portal key tablet as well, so he kind of has his core in that sense. So really not the biggest deal, and now they're going to go up top lane once again. They just go straight for the tower.
Wow.
Bloodhunter doesn't even care about the creep wave. Do they need to do this, though, is the question. I mean, they're really playing ballsy here. Bloodhunter, he's going to be compelled back. He's going to be fine for now. Again, that token, though, getting low here, 45 seconds.
They should let a Bloodhunter get every single last hit. Oh, okay, too late.
Never mind.
Yeah, he could have got all his health back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to heal. Like, if they want to push, tokens for 30 seconds, they can't take the team fight. Because if Token dies and he's still half HP, this is going to be absolutely disastrous for him. But I think Hellborn are starting to realise that there is some kind of a sort of delay, or at least some kind of set time that they need to go, because the later this goes, Scout's looking sort of scary already. He's already picked up his Shrunken Head. Looking towards that Brutalizer, Corrupted Disciple, nearly 400 GPM now, the leading farmer in terms of GPM in the game right now. And Bloodhunter, yeah, he's picked up his Dawnbringer, but, it's not one of those irons that, like, oh my god, he's got a Dawnbringer, let's still be scared. Like, it just doesn't offer that much to this Bloodhunter in terms of carry potential.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So they do fall back all the way in the end. And you see Blood. What did he buy, by the way? Yeah, something. The tablet's being delivered out here. They're gonna have 3 tablets and a Compel here on the Hellborn team. Jeez, they have a lot of that working with. Rhapsody gets hers finished right there. So, but yeah, a lot of utility for the team for sure going to be coming out. So I guess we'll have to wait just a little bit longer to see ultimately what Bloodhunter did buy with the gold that he has saved up there. But was it a Shrunken Head actually? Maybe it was.
Bloodhunter?
Yeah. What's it? Because he bought something. We'll find out shortly. What is it? Damn it. Where's the courier going in?
Face your bets, please.
Yeah, there we go. All right, because again, I missed it. Nothing in the courier yet. Yeah, screw it. Bottom lane, they are making their way down here, is Rexar. So clearly, even without the token, still pretty comfortable that they can at least take out the last outer tower, that is. It's still up currently. Corrupted Disciple, though, is on his way to very possibly that Geometer's Bane himself. And he's continuing to push out the top lane now. Okay, Courier's coming, just a TP. Never mind. Maybe he didn't buy anything. Maybe I feel like he did. Anyways.
Yeah, he doesn't have that great farm.
Yeah.
He's already picked up the Dawnbringer, the most expensive item in the game. So.
True. Well, they're going to get the bottom tower here at least. And it will go for free.
Alrighty, top lane.
Yeah, look at that, though. They push the middle, they're pushing the top lane. Yeah, here we go. Top lane is going to go for the TP. Can they stop it? I don't think they can. Empath was like, free ride. Thank you very much. And he gets another. And the courier's picked off. Oh, man.
I have to admit that rally compel was a little bit slow. He actually demoralizing roared before he compelled, which gave enough time to Corrupted Disciple to Shrunken Head. And I think if he actually hit the compel before Corrupted Disciple hit the Shrunken Head, I think that would have been a guaranteed kill, because Bloodhunter was rotating in as well. So, just slightly slow and quick things coming from Imberboy saves the day.
Well, you just see what happened there for Reason. Not only did they get the middle tower, the top tower is still alive, sure, but both those heroes survived. They forced all those TPs, and they killed the courier on top of it all, as Zane. Yeah. That's a second courier he's killed, so these supports, as farmed as they are, so they're able to buy it up pretty quickly once again. Not the hugest deal again, but...
so cancer.
Yeah, still pretty frustrating. I know, welcome back, Scout, right? That's what this hero does. Reason's lineup looks a lot better, yeah. Only Empath is below 50% win. Well, Rhapsody and Magnus are the only heroes over 50% for the Hellborn team. So, yeah, get the lineup together. It does kind of come together better for the Legion side as far as on paper, too. Bloodhunter, 2,300 gold saved up.
Yeah, and Hellborn, they've got a good lineup. It's just how well they executed it. Only having 10 kills in 30 minutes just sort of shows that they weren't aggressive enough, I don't think, in terms of getting the early kills and getting that early advantage that they needed. I think that the biggest advantage they ever had was like 3,000-4,000. That's disappeared right now, and it's just not enough. If you pick up this kind of lineup, they didn't lose in the first 15 minutes, but they didn't lose in the first 15 minutes in the last game because of they went too late game in terms of their heroes. It's because they just simply got outplayed. And in terms of this, they need to start focusing in terms of either on ganking right now or picking up a better draft in obviously the next series. Obviously, it's that if they lose this game, that they're out of the series, and so the only free real play they can make here is to focus on ganking, and yet Bloodhunter are just like farming the woods, and I just think they need to sort of have a little bit more urgency in what they're doing now.
Well, actually, he's falling back now. Actually, it should be fine, but you saw right there the Shiver kind of scouting and farming up the jungle. And if Tundra had another teammate nearby, ideally something like the Parasite, they could have very likely jumped Bloodhunter right there and gotten an easy kill. But he does get away, and of course is going to be fine for the time being. You see they're going to try to kill the Shiver, but nope, cannot get vision of it. Rhapsody with that bound eye use is just going to simply farm the middle lane. She's going to try to bait something out here. Hopefully she doesn't die too fast, though, if they do jump her. As it doesn't look like that's going to happen anyway. So, yeah, the gold efficiency, look at that.
Equal.
It is equal.
Wow.
That's the first time we've seen that here. Creep efficiency slightly in favor of the Legion.
And then Hellborn aren't farming badly. It's just that Legion farming equal to them is a lot worse for Hellborn, obviously, because Legion have the superior late game, and so I just like to see something, some kind of action. At least they are grouping up here, going to try and look for something. But at the same time, Reason are playing so well, and that they're sort of dodging like everything and all the engagements, and this probably goes back to the Shiver. Honestly, they have so much information with this proboscis Shiver that they can sort of see what's going on in terms of Rexars and just reply and respond accordingly. And this is just honestly very well played from Reason.
Oh, Bloodhunter's getting caught out here. Avalanche comes out, and this is troublesome. No, predictability at the last second. It's going to save. He goes for the TP. Is he actually going to live? Oh, he's not. If he TP'd immediately, maybe there was a chance, but still, 3 heroes dead, including Bloodhunter, and now a push big time from Reason Gaming. So it's a mistake like that against a top team like Reason Gaming that really can cost you the game ultimately.
Yeah, and now you got possible level 3 now. I mean, there's no buyback on Rhapsody. There is a buyback on Glaciers and Bloodhunter. I mean, I think they'll have to do it unless they want to risk losing their racks here. Actually, Magma's going in.
Magma's a big eruption right there, but no follow-up. So you see Rowley coming in. Bloodhunter did buy back. The Legion team fine with that round, though. Gets Capel off the Seismic Slam on Corrupted Disciple. Does a lot of damage, but again, the follow-up just simply not really there the best. Magnus, though, he does get this done on Corrupted Disciple. They're still trying to chase it now. Now comes the silence. Finally, Corrupted goes down, and now Empath is going to end up falling. And as well, so yeah, they do make a comeback in the fight right here as they pick up a couple of heroes, and now they're going to push. Does Corrupted have buyback?
Yeah.
He does, okay, yeah.
Adro just destroying the Bandai there before dying.
Okay.
So good play count from Adro. I mean, I've talked about Adro being a great support player, but I honestly don't think he gets enough credit. He's such a great player support player. Bottom lane.
Yeah, look at this. Double damage Tundra doing work. He has TP though. And nope! Compel hits. So not worth it. If he does somehow escape here, sure, but oh my god, actually trying to get work the puzzle box, but no. Magnus now in trouble too. Finally kill him. And they all get away. Jeez.
That DD though, as well as the blood crazy as well, giving him even more damage, was quite funny to see. But yeah, I mean, good. I do like the idea coming out from Probus though, and I like the initiative. But obviously, just great rotation coming out from the rest of the Rexars. And although they probably are in a bad spot in terms of Legion are slowly accumulating their items, they're still sort of keeping up in terms of the farm. And as long as they keep up with the farm, it's going to take to the late stages of the game for Legion to really have that clear, late game advantage. And now, Conga being picked up by Hellborn, I mean, it's looking quite good. I think it's going to be a wing, but picked up from Bloodhunter as well shortly, because he's already picked up the Dancing Blade on top of maybe a Conga kill. They might be able to even push Rax, perhaps.
Yeah, you see the top tower going down, so Pew and Recent Gaming, they're doing what they can to at least make something happen for the situation, but this is going to be that Conqueror kill. Bloodhunter will, of course, once again have that token alive. Now, last time, they didn't make the best use of it, to be frank, but this time around, perhaps different circumstances. You mentioned the Wingpo, still a little bit away, but he is working towards it as he has that Dancing Blade pickup, and having that evasion and, well, the return damage that it does now as well could be pretty beneficial against this Legion side, so overall, a very strong pickup, definitely, to be coming out here for Bloodhunter as he'll continue to farm, again, get closer to that. So, yeah, just as we think, it's like it's one of those mistakes that you make that's going to really give Reason Game the momentum to try to finish things off even. A hold from Rexars. I mean, it was very awkward, too, because like they saw the buyback did Reason Game, and now the Magma stun, there was no follow-up initially. Reason Gaming saw the buyback. They did start falling back pretty quickly, but there was a good chase by Rexars. They chased just long enough. They got the distance and eventually got the kills in the end that they needed. So keeping the gap close here as far as what's going on. Blood Hunter crossing the 400 GPM mark, but he needs to closer to 500 if he wants to have that 50% win percentage go higher even. So let's see, here is a 409. I don't know, Big Earl Long still has a ways to go then, if that would be the case, but Wingbow is on the way though, and that in itself will help. Brutalizer on Scout, of course, absolutely big. And Corrupted does now have another 2,900 gold himself. What do you think? I mean, should he prioritize maybe a Savage Mace here, knowing that he's going up against a Wingbow?
I think Savage Mace would make the most amount of sense though, because I mean, Blood Hunter is very, very close to the Wingbow. And I mean, there's no. I mean, he pretty would have got Savage Mace even if there wasn't a Wingbow in this game. So it makes sense for him to just pick up the Savage Mace as his next item. And at the same time, they are kind of lacking a little bit of damage. They've got the lockdown, of course, with Tundra, as well as sort of the Scout as well in terms of the Brutalizer procs. And they just need that extra little bit of damage. And once they sort of take down Blood Hunter and all the spells are being sort of used but from Hellborn, I mean, they don't have any teamfight potential here for Hellborn, so the damage would make sense here from Corrupted Cycle. Top lane, Scout's using the Stronger Ned just to get out safely, and it's better safe than sorry, honestly. He's obviously the second carry right here.
Yeah.
And he needs to make sure he survives here, because, I mean, if he gets picked off and doesn't have a buyback, that could lead for racks here for Hellborn.
Seems like stats are definitely lining up to be more and more in favor of Recent Gaming. It's another one right there, but obviously the game, you got to play the game for anything can happen really. Stats are just one thing, and maybe not the most data as far as overtime. But anyways, you see the top push is happening right here from Rexars. You got Blood Hunter again in the front lines, 2 minutes plus remaining on the token. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, okay, that's just an illusion that was left behind. So that one's dead, and no more bottom push going to be happening. Blood Hunter, the initiation on Corrupted Disciple, the hemorrhage, the silence, and everything. They use the Sheepstick Eruption being channeled. The eruption goes off from the Hellborn team. Quite the push. Corrupted Disciple does buy back immediately, though. And here we go with the response. Protect him. Melody saves the day initially. Keeps Magnus alive. He's looking to run away, and so is the rest of the team. Rally is currently dead. Rhapsody now in trouble as well. She's probably going to fall. The port out from Glacius. Glacius will somehow get out, and the rest of them will as well. Yep, Magnus gets out. Okay, so not too shabby as far as that push goes. It forced a buyback on Corrupted.
Yeah, I mean, and if they do that again, obviously, and then one more time, that's the complete easy racks here for Rexars, and maybe we sort of wrote them off a little bit too early, because they can still definitely play, and they still have obviously late game potential now with Blood Hunter as well, picking up the Wingbow. I think one more item here for Blood Hunter would be perfect, because he needs that extra little bit of damage, same as Corrupted Disciple, honestly, because obviously they've got the magical damage and the lockdown. It's just the physical presence is a little bit lacking here, so if Blood Hunter can maybe pick up a Savage Mace or some kind of extra bit of physical damage here would make all the difference here for Rexars.
Yeah, again, it's going to push out the middle lane to go towards that. So the Hellborn team, though, they're going top. They want to set up a gank on the Corrupted up here, but he leaves the illusions behind, and the real one is already ported back to the middle lane. So let us clean up the creep wave instead and start to push it back themselves. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Reason Gaming has been doing a really good job of keeping the counter push up and really keeping Rexars guessing and on their toes in that sense. But it's almost like a deja vu a little bit. Once again, we got Rexars back to the top lane. As you stated, just do that a couple more times and perhaps a victory could be theirs. So this would be take two in that sense of still having that buyback on Corrupted Disciple. So here we go back top now. The biggest difference this time, Token alive on 10-second cooldown, or 10 seconds left, I should say. It is about to wear off right here. So he needs to be very careful with that, not to go too ballsy, because he should basically play as if he doesn't have one right now, because obviously it is about to wear off as it does right there. So he no longer has one. The Legion team will pick up with that, and they immediately go in. Good information coming out for Recent Gaming. Their chance. The double tablet, though, comes out. Again, all the tablets and the Compel. They use everything to keep him alive. And he does stay alive. They have 3 tablets and Compel, and that was a prime example.
Yeah, this is a really good play coming from Rex. I was actually, Stronghead had already been used by Corrupted Disciple as well as the Empath as one ability. I mean, if there's a time where Rexars can take this team fight, it's right now.
That's true. So speaking of information, I'm sure they picked up on that as well. And that cooldown's still about 30 more seconds for Corrupted. So this is still a good spot to be in for Bloodhunter. The melee rack started to drop. No more vulnerability for the time being. Scout running in the back of the jump. Comes the side with Rally. The follow-up is coming. This is a train on Corrupted. They want to chase him down, but the follow-up not the most. Bloodhunter is silenced currently. Finally gets the hemorrhage off, but they dove way too far right there, and now they need to fall back. The supports are dead. The marksman shot hits Bloodhunter. Magnus with the stun there to try to keep him alive. He puts up the silence on a Parasite. Pretty good one because the Leech probably would have fallen. He says, screw it. We're going to sit the ground. They're over there. The Sun mixed out the eruption. What a turn from Rexars right there. Down goes Scout, and holy crap, they just cleaned them up all of a sudden. I did not see that coming, and neither did Reason Gaming. Are they going to continue to push, though? It looks like it. They're feeling ballsy once again. Maybe not. Yeah, I think they finally realized, okay, we've overstayed a welcome, but no, it's not over just yet. Magnus stuns. He needs to play the getaway. There's not going to be a comeback fight here as a port out from Bloodhunter. And that finally will do, but what a turn from Rexars there at the end.
I mean, and Rexars, I mean, they're playing strong. They're playing hard. They want to take it to a game 3. And like you said, great plays come out from Misha there on the Magnus, turning it and just manning up. I was not expecting that to happen. And in the end, that they go and just sort of show that this game's still not over, regardless of whether Legion have the better late game or not.
Holy crap, man. I mean, at that point, you just figure Rexars simply just playing the getaway game and trying to assist one another and get it. But clearly somebody made the call on chat. I'm going to go with Yellow Rexar possibly, again, being the captain for the team. But somebody made the call, and what a correct call it was. Beautiful
Scout.
turnaround.
Scout, mid lane.
Oh, yeah, the bound die. He's going to be spotted. The hemorrhage comes out. I mean, how do you not see that? Oh, jeez. That is a big pick-off. Zane is dead. He does not have a buyback. They also catch Corrupted. What is going on for Reason? The wall comes out. Look at how fast he is, though, with the Energizer. So he's going to find the distance. Will it be enough, though? He goes a good direction. Nice done the one Empath. And she will go down as well.
No buybacks to Scout or Empath.
Yeah. So it's a 5 versus 3 all of a sudden.
This is top Rax.
How did Scout not see that?
Bottom lane, bottom lane, bottom lane.
What is going on bottom? Oh my God! It's Tundra doing the backdoor thing. Didn't he do this against Sync as well? I'm pretty sure he did. Anyways, it's Parasite and Tundra down here. But here we go. They're going in. Magnus, no, he does not hang it. Now that port from Rhapsody, I think, almost screwed that because he was going now. Anyways, they save the melee racks. They do kill the melee racks top. Yep. So ultimately, it does work out very well for Rexars. What has happened here, man?
I don't know, like, it feels like Reason are just, honestly, they were playing so well in these last couple of 40 minutes, and in the last couple of minutes, they just kept getting picked off one at a time, and at the same time, though, Rexars, that they're really capitalizing on the mistakes coming from Reason, and, I mean, them getting the first Rex here, I was very, very surprised, and who knows, they can take it late, it seems. Apparently,
man, and again, they are playing very, very well, there's no doubting that. And it's almost like they turned it on all of a sudden. I mean, this has just kind of been, it's been a fun game, sure, but it's been, it's pretty slow ultimately. And, especially for having like a Bloodhunter kind of carry kind of hero, the movement wasn't really the most. And not a whole lot of hemorrhage ganks coming out and using the signs to full advantage, but really they've definitely turned something on. And now that they have a 19-15 hero kill lead, the stats continue to be pretty close to one another. In fact, right there is a prime example once again. Hell, the gold efficiency identical according to the Quincy stats right there. So we got a hell of a game 2 coming at you. And what is a best of the 3, of course, with Reason up 1 game to nothing. Bloodhunter, though, 2,900 gold saved up currently. He's actually got the bound on him now. I don't think Scout's going to make that mistake once again.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what Bloodhunter is actually going to pick up here. I mean, I know it sounds very, very strange, but I wouldn't surprise if he picks up a Nullfire Blade here. I mean, there's a few things he could obviously do with it. He could purge off... obviously, like the slow coming out from Parasite, probably not the biggest of things, but I mean, taking the mana away from Scout as well as sort of Tundra, it'd be a big deal, and obviously the extra slow as well is always good just for heroes like Bloodhunter to sort of catch his middle lane.
Jump right here, Magnus going to be the target, protect him out of that once again, save the day initially, it stopped pretty quickly right there. Magnus does stay alive though, he's still locked down, however, he's still somehow alive though in the background, double tap is coming out the team support, off the charts right here, Glacius in trouble, but Bloodhunter in the background, he's still putting in auto attacks, he's kind of kiting around back and forth, he's lost Glacius and Rhapsody, nobody dead on the Legion side, make that maybe one though, Bloodhunter chasing, cannot chase far enough though, and now he's locked down by Scout. Compelled from Rally? No, he takes Storm Spirit, but that will be the end of it. So look at the top lane in the meantime. A big creep wave coming. So even though... Was there any buybacks there? There was no buybacks that fight, I don't believe. No. But, yeah, the range racks, okay, they are going to save that at least, it looks like. But, I mean, even though they lost 2 heroes, still not that bad for Rexars.
Yeah, and they lost the 2 supports, which isn't actually that big of a deal, honestly. And I mean, I didn't know if you saw right at the end. I mean, Magnus tried to channel the eruption up and try to make the big plays, but it just hit illusions, unfortunately. But again, like you said, they only lost 2 supports, and at the same time, I mean, these Legion Stronghold heads are getting lower and lower at the moment. Only 6 seconds on scouts. And I don't know how long is the Corrupted Disciples? Only 5 seconds.
I do not know about this. That's they're 3 versus 5, but okay, they're going to be fine initially, but yeah.
But yeah, going back to Strong Heads, like 6 seconds left on Scouts, 5 seconds on Corrupted Disciples, and I mean, the reason why Hellborn are doing so well, honestly, is because they've got all this magical damage, and the Strong Heads are just not lasting long enough for them to really be useful. Against all the magic damage coming out from Hellborn, and even the late game potential now of Blood Thunder is finally getting reached now with the Wingbow and the Dawnbringer. I mean, actually, Scout might be in trouble. Just walked past the bound.
Blood Hunter almost was in trouble.
Yeah,
that could have been either way right there, but no one really reacts to it in the end. So. But yeah, no, I mean, the magic exactly is sure the Geometer's Bane's still nice, but see the Shiver right there going to be picked off pretty easily. But yeah, being that low in the Shrunken Heads, and there goes the range tracks again. The Legion team, they got to make a decision here. They got to send at least one person back, or they got to go for a fight. And they're going to try to, Corrupt Disciple, they are going to jump in on a Blood Hunter, but again, the Compel, the Talbot support is there, protecting Melody, helping to keep him alive, and now he's going to look to turn things around, maybe. No, he still needs to run. The team support isn't going to be enough, but it's also an Glacial Downpour. It's actually doing a bit of damage. Magnus stuns his, Throw Spear coming out, the eruption from Magnus, he gets it off in the mist, and them all bind a bit of damage. Seismic Slam, the Compel comes out, there's the Seismic Slam, Blood Hunter still one alive. Corrupt Disciple has a conduit up, though, putting an auto attack damage. Nice wall at the last second. Blood Hunter needs that kill for the heal. He gets the kill for the heal, and now the chase continues. He wants more damage. He's gonna get more Empath. Yes, Empath will fall. And in the background, Magnus is still working on Tundra. Tundra's in trouble. Magnus done in 3 seconds, but the Tundra portal key. However, Magnus done. Yes, he gets it. The silence comes out, and that should be a dead Tundra as well.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Once again.
What is going on? Like, Hellborn are still taking these team fights and winning, and now they're going to take the Conqueror as well, most likely, unless they want to move mid. Look at their base as well, the top racks. I mean, they kept them away from their base, taking that tier 4 now, and Rexars, they want to game through. They do not want to finish their diamond careers just right now.
Yeah, again, the Cycle 1 here, long season ahead of us, but making a statement, if anything, for sure. I mean, really forcing it to Reason Gaming. And at this, again, it's kind of funny because still the stats, as little as it is, it still says it's in favor of Reason. But at the way these last couple of fights have gone, liking Rexars once again, and now they're going to go back for that Conqueror kill. And this time, it makes a lot more sense. Look at that Brutalizer just delivered to Blood Hunter. So his damage output getting even that much better, as well as the very important lockdown potential. But yeah, the biggest thing I really noticed about that last fight, though, was they did a lot to the supporting cast. Initially, they tried to burst down Blood Hunter. Obviously, it didn't work in the end. Oh, Parasite! He goes for the steal. Few trying to make the big plays, but unfortunately, a no-go right there.
But you see the Strong Head stuff, they're just not lasting long enough. Like, Corrupted Disciple pops it in, runs in, and then after, he's killed like maybe one support, it ends up, running out, and then the Magnus comes in with his stun, then he comes in with, the Sheepstick, and then obviously the damage coming from Eruption, and, I mean, Legion, they're just not surviving long enough for the Strong Heads to really be useful. That, or they're not killing the Hellborn team quick enough for the Strong Heads to really last the entirety of the team fight.
Yeah. Whew. Crazy game 2 we are having here, 51 minutes in right now. And we got Rexars continuing to push in at this time. The Bananas. Who has the Bananas? It's on, Magnus there. Again, the token for the 3rd time now on Blood Hunter. You see Corrupted Disciple. He has Empath inside, but just simply trying to hold them off as long as possible. Magnus, when it comes to this point of the game with the farm that he has, usually a pretty good sign for his team and their success. I mean, mixed with not only just his stun, his eruption, the initiation that he brings, one of the best in the game all throughout the game. But at this point, too, he has items like the Sheepstick, the Storm Spirit, the supporting utility kind of items there. So Blood Hunter doing the whole silence himself, and auto attacks even harder as a result of that. Might as well when you're at that point. But again, it's going to be so difficult with Legion. They are going to go, though, once again. Rally going to be the target. But again, Talbot's going out. More Talbot. There's the Storm Spirit just before he dies. They'll protect the Melody. No, it's canceled immediately. But here we go with Blood Hunter once again. The Storm Spirit is on him. He is looking to chase him down. Now, Sheepstick got Corrupted. Corrupted's locked down. Corrupted is going to fall main. It looks like, no, he barely lives with the Geometer's Bane. Bloodhunter couldn't get the kill. He needed him to heal up. He can't get it. He's putting an auto attacks on Empath. He can't get that either. The token alive going to bring it back up. Who's over here? It's just Glacius. Empath goes inside a teammate, and no, Bloodhunter is going to die. Most likely, yes, down he goes. That was so close to healing up with the kill on Corrupted, but he did not. What a hold.
Yeah, and I think, Legion have finally decided, they're going to sort of leave Bloodhunter just in the entirety of the team fight. Try and focus down the Magmas, try and focus down the other supporting cast, because, I mean, every single time they seem to go for Bloodhunter, he comes back in and gets the rest of his health back up. And they're wasting a lot of damage, obviously, on the Bloodhunter. And it looks like this sort of strategy in the team fight is working. Corrupted just about surviving, obviously helping. Kill Bloodhunter even quicker because he couldn't reach any HP, and now they're going to push into the tier 3. Buyback is on Bloodhunter, but Magmas has still got 17 seconds to sort of res back up.
Yeah, you see right here, Reezy Gaming pushing in Tundra and Corrupted Disciple in the front lines. Parasite here, and the Hell Cannon, of course. This tower dropping quickly, plenty of damage going in. They're going to jump Glacius now. That's just support. Codex not doing a whole lot. He actually froze himself right there. Going to mitigate quite a bit of damage in the process. Bloodhunter now in the front lines. He has hemorrhage, but he couldn't get close enough to anyone. Legion Courier picked up for some reason in those front lines itself, as it does go down right there. Bloodhunter, though, yeah, with that final buyback, he actually bought a Quick Blade right there. Or not a Quick Blade, a Dancing Blade, I should say. So I guess even a full Kenshiro going to be coming up, but more so just gets that 25 agility on top of having another Dancing Blade now as well. So
they're going all in.
Yeah, they are.
They want to go.
Do they need to?
Avalanche down on Tundra, as well as the Shrunken Head and Corrupted Disciple. I mean, they've still got bananas on Bloodhunter now. I mean, they've got the last buyback on Bloodhunter. They can't risk Bloodhunter dying again and then losing Rax. This is the death push right here for Rexars.
This is it. Bloodhunter putting an auto attacks, kind of saying, come at me, bro. But as you're stating, and I'm sure recent game has kind of learned their lesson. Hasn't worked several times now in the past. They probably are not going to go for it this time. They want another target now. Bloodhunter silencing himself once again, increasing the damage, but ultimately does fall back shortly after that. So Tundra gonna spawn that Shiver, letting everyone know about doing so. Freaking loud he is. You see in the background, Rowley's really far back here. He's the one that got picked off last time. So he's like, I'm not gonna let them at least
look at top lane, look at that, all the creeps coming in. This is where they can do the chip damage.
Yep.
They can just really do the time push. Every single time top pushes in, Legion are going to back out and try and defend their top base. And then while that happens, they can go in, put some chip damage onto the middle tower and slowly but surely chip it down, because, I mean, Legion aren't going to get out of their base. So, I mean, at the time, Hellborn have the advantage right here.
Yeah, I love it. It's exactly Recent Gaming just forced to really just kind of sit there. Conduit channeling now into Bloodhunter. He needs to be careful. There's the Avalanche. They want to go for something. Talbot away, though. Capella away. Storm Spirit comes out, trying to save the day. He puts the silence up, and he's starting to run away. Sheepstick on the Corrupted Disciple. They're looking for their turn. Bloodhunter still well alive. He's going to go for the kill on Scout. He will kill Scout. And Corrupted Disciple trying to stay alive. He has a Shrunken Head. No, he does not anymore. Pops the Geometer's Bane. In comes the Capella. Seismic Slam. Going to be stopped by a Storm Spirit, however. But Bloodhunter still putting out auto attacks. There's the kill on Corrupted. He has buyback. He uses it immediately. Empath trying to run away, will be fine, but Corrupted buyback, and Bloodhunter's like, I gotta get the hell out of here, because it's just him and a Rally for the time being. There's the Compel portal key, but Tundra is chasing with that cold shoulder. Not much Bloodhunter's gonna be able to do. He just wants to get the hell out of here himself, and Rally will be killed. So, but look at the top. Once again, even though they push them out, Empath immediately goes back. She's gonna need help. There's no way she's gonna be able to do this herself. So they're gonna try to push middle here once again, but oh man, okay, I mean, no buyback on Magmas.
Buyback on Glacius as well as Rally, but I think they might be able to defend this. It's still 3v3 as long as Rally and Glacius buy back. I mean, they might be able to defend Rex if everyone buys back right now, but they got to do it right now, right here.
Just looking at the top lane. Yeah, this definitely could be game right here. Rally goes inside. We said, Corrupted Disciple. A good amount of damage, but Rally falls very quickly right there. Bloodhunter now, he charges in. Hemorrhage is on Corrupted. Corrupted has to stand. Corrupted, the Storm Spirit comes out from Parasite. Corrupted knows he's dead. He goes down. No more buyback to be had. That could be it. Rexars might have just GG'd right there over Reason Gaming. It's not 100% over, but with him dead for another 70 seconds, the top lane already heavily being pushed in. Bloodhunter is now going to be joined by the rest of his team eventually as they push middle lane. Wow. I mean, Corrupted, yeah. They killed Rally very quickly, but not the same story for that Bloodhunter, as he actually is going to get that Genjiro in full. at this time too. So he's going to now basically have full items here as far as what he has to work with.
I think he needs the steam stuff as well, actually, before he can get the Gunjuro.
Oh, okay, about the paddock. Another one of those. All right, well, anyways, they are going to push in the middle lane as, again, Corrupted 35 more seconds. They do not have Avalanche. They do have Facehug. Look at that damage.
A lot of damage,
wow.
yeah.
All right, so enough to scare him, and maybe that is going to be enough to face Rexstars and be like, okay, maybe we don't want to push this. I think it is.
It's still 4v4, so I mean, Riley is coming back up now. I mean, he doesn't have enough money for post haste though. I mean, they've got 15 seconds. If they're going to go for the racks, they need to go all in right now.
Yeah, freaking continuing to be pretty crazy here, as far as game number 2 is concerned. Here we go with the jump, and Mouse freaking out. I apologize. There we go. Particular Melody helping Bloodhunter as well as Magnus in the background. Scotty open, but he's going to regret that. However, Storm Spear comes out. A lot of team support from either side. Just continues to happen here. Glacier is going to be left behind, though, and he will fall. Okay, at least it's just him. At least it's just him. If you're Rexos, that's what you're saying.
Still, I mean, 5v4. Although it's only a lonely Glacier, he's level 19, so level 3 Glacial Downpour. Of course, obviously, the rest of his spells as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, Glacier isn't the biggest support, but still, I mean, I'd rather have a 5v5 than obviously a 5v4. I don't know if he's going to try and capitalize on this step on Glacier. He's actually down for 60 seconds, so he's actually level 19, but we'll have to see if they want to push in or not.
I think we're really seeing the power of killing a Rax here this game. I mean, I know we know that it's a strong thing to do, and of course a priority and everything. But exactly, we are really seeing this game. The stats have been in favor of Reason Gaming for like the last 40 minutes, it feels like, if not even the whole game, perhaps. Yet the Hellborn team, Rexstars, is still managing to be in a good spot to ultimately win this game because of the Rax kill at the top lane that they got earlier. So you can see Reason Gaming really trying to turn it on to take out or to push in the middle lane as much as they can, as they do right there with the melee Rax, but.
Yeah. I mean, this is so scary at the moment right now. I mean, with both teams so limited in terms of buybacks. I mean, one team fight can be the difference between winning the game and losing the game. I mean, there's no more buybacks here. So I mean, if they get picked off, if they die in a team fight, this could be GG. It's so tense right now.
Wow, Rexstars 2-0 past 60 minutes. Reason 0-4. So Reason still looking for their first hour-long victory, whereas Rexstars has done it a couple times, as Quincy says right there. So. Again, clean up in the middle lane. Push back here from Rexstars now with Bloodhunter leading the way. But yeah, Conqueror has got to be up very shortly here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rexstars especially makes their move towards that. The Gunjiro, again, of course, finished in full. Sheepstick on a Tundra now. So another crowd control item. Again, this team support has been crazy from not only all the tablets and the Capellas, but the Storm Spirits as well.
Yeah.
It's been ridiculous as far as the teammates doing everything they can to keep one another alive. Double damaging sponsor as well. Got so perfect for the Hellborn side.
That's gonna be such a big deal. Like, I can't. Oh my god, this could honestly be like a free Conga here for Hellborn, just with that one DD.
Unless Parasite is clutch.
They should buy a bottle right now and then just take it, because just sort of hovering around it isn't good enough. They need to bottle it up.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really well played. Because now at least they can obviously just give it to Bloodhunter whenever he needs to use it. Because like they obviously want to wait around the double damage, but at the same time, obviously mid is pushing in. They need to sort of be in a lot of places at once. So the bottle is a very good item, even in the late stages of the game, just for that one reason. And that one DD honestly is so big. Like you'll see when Bloodhunter gets that DD, he's going to be absolutely wrecking face right now.
Yeah. There's the double damage. Bloodhunter picks it up and goes ahead and uses it.
600 damage.
Yeah, and then he picks up the Mystic Vestments as well. So.
6 damage.
Yeah, they're gonna go right to Conqueror, understandably so. Now Shiver is nearby, no Parasite once again, but they are getting this information as a Legion team. They are nearby.
800 damage with that Blood Frenzy as well. Oh, look how quickly that Conqueror dies.
That's old
and
school
this is what I mean.
right there.
There
we go. There's the Sheepstick on a Bloodhunter Codex. They're using everything. Protective Melody on the uphill, though. Saving the day. Tundra going to be Sheepstick. Magnus stuns in. Scout trying to get there, but not enough. Bloodhunter, he is still alive. No, he does die in the end. He goes down. They did not kill Conqueror. He tried to commit to a kill. It didn't work. Magnus now in trouble as well. Magnus will fall. Reason Gaming wins the Conqueror fight. And they're going to get Conqueror. And did they just do it? There's no buybacks on Magnus or Bloodhunter. I don't even know.
That could have just been the game. And oh man, that Conga was a couple of hits from dying, and
Yeah.
then just great clutch play came out from Proboss, knowing that he had to go in straight away, and he did it. And this might just be the game right here, right now. They're going all in for the front.
Oh man, yeah, as they should. I don't think there's a chance here for the Hellborn team. Magnus and Blood Under Dead, what do? I mean, Rhapsody and Rally, it's not going to do anything. They might just try to distract us long, but Reason's smart enough to know that that's exactly all they're trying to do. So Reason Gaming is going to come through in the end, it looks like, and Vulnerability comes out. What an effort from Rexars, but GG, well played. Reason takes game number 2, and they take the series as a result. So, so much for being 0-4 in hour-long games, as they are now 1-4. With this victory right
here. And I mean, an incredible effort coming out from Rexars. I mean, I wrote them off pretty far too quickly and far too early. They played an absolutely fantastic game, and massive props to them, honestly. But at the same time, I mean, clearly Reason's showing that they are the superior team, held in the end. And even though it was looking a little bit tense, particularly after Rexars took the top racks, they persevered through and eventually took the game.
Wow, oh wow, indeed. So once again, we see the victory coming out for Reason Gaming. Again, they move on out to the next round. Rexars, that will do it for them for Cycle 1 here. Yes, they are still going to be in Diamond, and they still get a nice share of the prize pool in the end, but got to be a little disappointing, especially knowing how close they were to even forcing a third game, and who knows what would have happened with that. But the end has happened. Look at Pew there on Parasite, by the way. The troll there at the end picks up a Doombringer.
Yeah.
To finish things off. But no, anyways, again, well played on both sides. The team support was really fun to watch, too. And again, just ultimately one of those very entertaining games coming out from both of these teams. So with that said, I think the other series, do we want to jump into that one real quickly?
Yeah, sure, man. I'm definitely up for that.
Let's see that. We got Willowkeeper versus Dawn. Now, Willowkeeper is up 1-0. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this one. I will need to update the graphic here. So give me a sec, guys, but let's see. So again, Willowkeeper up 1-0 over Dawn. The winner of this will now play Reason Gaming next weekend, is what it comes down to. But all right, so what do we got? Willowkeeper on the Hellborn. Oh my God, there's a big fight I'm missing as I join in. What do we got here? Blood Under. Hey, we see Blood Under again as he actually goes down right there. Pebbles, he's in the midst of it. Flux kind of pulls him back. Rhapsody going to try to help with staccato stuns. Scout trying to get away. He gets pulled back in by Flux, though, and Scout in trouble. The auto decks, yep, the combo comes out, and down he goes. And now Ophelia's in trouble. And I think we might have jumped into a point of, well, so much for updating the graphic.
CC.
All right.
Energizer Boxy, Pebbles. Impressive.
Oh, really? Wow, yeah. Guess that for earlier on. I mean, it's not 100% official. Like, okay, there you go. Well. Good timing.
Well then,
awkward.
That was a good cast, man.
Yeah.
I think my final thoughts probably on that one is really, really well played. It's particularly in Tree there in the laning phase. They played that for
Oh yeah, the laning phase was huge. Just dominated there.
Man.
At least Certus got best looking over there for the fact. So happy with that, I'm sure. No, but all right. Well, there you go. That's how that series will end too, apparently, and that's how, of course, today will ultimately come to a conclusion. So Reason Gaming, again, they take out Rexars 2-0, and Willowkeeper also win their series 2-0, thus moving on. So that means we are down to 4 teams. No, 4 teams. Yeah, no, do I have that right? Yes, 4 teams. 4 teams remaining here in Han Tour Season 3 Cycle number 1 Diamond Division. Those 4 teams, of course, Bad Monkey Gaming versus Sync Esports in the winner bracket finals. And then at the losers bracket, you have Reason Gaming versus Willowkeeper, as we just saw that victory right there for them. I'm actually updating the brackets here real quickly for you guys to give you that visual here. But, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a case of as far as, now again, you look at the brackets, just straight up look at the brackets if you didn't watch any of the matches, like, okay, well, it's maybe as expected for the most part. But again, we had some great matches. We definitely have had a lot of good matches, a very close series. And in the end, it's been a fun cycle so far. But these are 4 teams that are, you can arguably consider them to be the top 4 teams right now. So at the same time, that is good to see. So what do you think of the top 4 here?
Yeah, I think these are definitely the top 4 teams in HON right now. I mean, if we're talking go back to the predictions, obviously I put these 4 teams definitely in the top 4 with Zinc, BMG, Tree, and Reason in that particular order. And I mean, the winners bracket and the losers bracket matchups are going to be an absolute great series to watch, as well as cast, obviously, which I won't have the pleasure of doing next week. But it's going to be some great series, though, and I'm looking forward to at least watching them if I don't get to cast them, of course.
Yeah. Again, the first cycle of obviously 8 in total to come, so I'm sure many matches, and that matchup in itself will happen many more times as well. But yeah, it is an exciting time. So hopefully, at the very least, you do get to watch it. It sounds like you probably will be able to. But BMG versus BMG versus Sync, excuse me, a no doubting matchup that a lot of people around the Hawk competitive scene, I think it's safe to say everyone that really cares about it is really looking forward to. Seeing, and that will be the winner bracket finals next week, and on Saturday, the priority match, or the first match even. Again, I'll pull up the schedule for you guys right here. I also plan to put this actually on the Han Tour or the HonCast Twitch as well. It'll probably make sense, but where am I going to? There we go. So as you can see right here, again, Saturday and Sunday for this week are done. Saturday for next week, again, the winner bracket finals, that will be BMG versus Sync at 12 Eastern, 1800 Central European Time, and then the losers bracket. Round 3 of Reason Gaming versus Willowkeeper will follow. Then on Sunday, the losers bracket finals, of course, followed by the grand finals, which, yes, will be best out of 5, with the winner bracket team obviously going in 1-0 advantage, as it's always been here in the Han Tour season format. So, man, what a way to kick things off. We were so looking forward to this for the longest time, and it did not disappoint, I think it's safe to say, as far as everything playing out this weekend. And we got some hella good matches. And in the end, though, we got our 4 teams that are going to be advancing on. And again, ultimately competing for a lot of prize pool here, as pulling that up real quickly. Hell, even 4th place, they're taking home $3,000. But all the way up to 1st place, taking home $81.36, over $8,000 in monies. Not too shabby for 2 weeks' worth of work. So, any final thoughts throughout this weekend here, Mini-Mag and whatnot?
Yeah, just that my player or my team prediction is so far 100% correct, with Ogre finishing 8th